Hey friends, Mike and Jess here.
And welcome to Regeneration Nation TV. Today we're reacting to a video titled UK City Names Explained.
I need this one. I needed this one in my life.
Yeah.
I'm very glad it won the vote because, I have no idea. I just saw the other day these guys talking about this city. It's like Leics, some S's and some T's somewhere in there too.
Yeah.
It
They're
was like
spelled so...
something like that. And then he just said Leicester. And I was like, what? Huh?
Yeah, some of these, the way that they're spelled, the way you want to read them is totally way off from the way they sound after they're read by somebody who knows how to read them. But
yeah. So hopefully this video is like touching on the subject that I think it is, which is to correct me on my grammar. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You looked at me and it was real silent, and it got real weird. I was like, "What's she thinking? What are they thinking?" And then I lost it. And you weren't gonna save me. There was no life raft anywhere in sight.
I was just paying attention. I was putting all eyes on you. I'm sorry.
You didn't see me make the signal under here? Save me. I'm running out of words. Anyways, we're gonna get into this. We've got links below. This comes from Name Explain. So yeah, go check out their channel. And if you don't like the video, don't take it up with us. Take up the reaction with us. But make it make sense, all right? If you got a problem with us, take it up with us. If you got a problem with the video, I don't know what to tell you. If you leave the comment on this video, it won't really get to the right place. So just make sure your gripes make it to the right bin.
Yeah.
All right?
The United Kingdom is a country composed of smaller nations which are home to a huge amount of cities. There are 76 found across England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. What's interesting is that when we think of cities, we tend to think of huge buildings and lots of people. That isn't really the case here in the UK. City status in the UK is a thing given out to places for a variety of factors, from the amount of people who live there to more arbitrary things like if they have a cathedral or not. Of course, all these cities have names. Some of these names have deeply ancient roots, while others are a little more self-explanatory. What's interesting about so many of these names is just how far some have travelled. Due to the UK's history as one of the world's largest superpowers and its historical empire, many of these cities' names have found homes in places like the USA, Canada and Australia. My aim in this video is to highlight many of the more well-known of ones, as well as ones you may not have heard of but have noteworthy names. I've tried my best to highlight cities from every nook of the UK, but there's still many I haven't covered. Yeah, apologies to anyone watching from Ely hoping to hear their city name get explained. If enough of you kick up a fuss, maybe I'll make a whole video about it. Anyway, that's more than enough rambling. Why don't we instead take a more metaphorical ramble across the UK, its many cities, and find out where exactly their names came from? Where better to start?
It's already made me think of our own country of like, I don't really know what qualifies as a city or a town. Like the city of Jacksonville, Florida. But then before that, we were the town of Orange Park. Yeah. I always just assumed it was population size. You graduate to city status at a certain population. Yeah. But I don't know. I was like, just realized that I don't really know.
Yeah, me either. I couldn't tell you for sure.
But it is weird that like you have to have a cathedral. Is that really real? That's
pretty
crazy.
Awesome, actually.
Is it awesome?
I like it.
It's kind of weird.
Then with my favourite nook of this country, the southwest. The southernmost city in the UK is Truro, found in Cornwall. The name is believed to come from the Cornish term of Triliveru, which means three rivers, as three rivers run through this city. Going slightly north, we arrive in Plymouth, the wonderful city I have the fortune of calling home. The city simply has this name as it sits in the mouth of the River Plym, with this river being named after the nearby town of Plympton, and this town's name also means Plum Tree Farm Town. For the record, a lot of these cities are named after rivers. I won't be going into the origin of all these river names, but this one was fun and I have some hometown bias, I suppose. Green Army and all that. Moving along, we have...
Well, Plymouth is, I'm sure a lot of these names we're going to be familiar with because it's, I don't know, England, New England. There's so many. Now I'm blanking. There's so many. That's like the easiest one. Yeah. But you get what I'm saying. There's so many. But like Plymouth, I've seen in basically every city I've lived in. Yep. Something named after Plymouth. You know what I mean?
Exeter, which simply means the town of the River Exe. A slight detour north finds us in Bristol. The name comes from Old English and means an assembly place by a bridge. Today there's way more than one bridge in the city. The city of Bath in Somerset is simply named after the Roman natural hot spring baths, which the city was built around. Edging eastwards we arrive.
That would be so interesting to live in a city called Bath.
Yeah. That would be crazy. There's a lot of, like, Bristol is in Georgia that I'm familiar with. Anyway, the only Bristol I'm familiar with. But yeah, there's a lot of different ones. But yeah, because
I
there's
feel
a
like
city
any body of
United
water
States.
that I submerge myself in that city is considered me taking a bath. Is
that would
wrong?
be weird. Yeah. Especially if you take your soap with you and you're doing that out in public.
After the Roman natural hot spring baths, which the city was built around. Edging eastwards, we arrive in Salisbury, famous for its 123-metre spire that people from all around the world come to see. We don't actually know what the first part of this name means, but the latter half means a walled town. Southampton...
I always wondered about this because when I learned that there was a city called that, like, we have Salisbury steak here.
Yeah.
That is like something I grew up eating a lot with some mashed potatoes. It's got gravy all over it.
Yep.
And like, what is the relation? What is the relation? I probably need to Google this.
Could have originated
I could have
here.
Googled it all this time.
Actually know what the first part of this name means, but the latter half means a walled town. Southampton is fairly self-explanatory. Hampton means a settlement by a bend of a river, and this one is in the south. Likewise, Portsmouth is a port.
That's another one. Like, we have Hampton a lot here. You will see Hampton all over the place.
Yep.
But it's interesting. It's like all together the word.
It's not two H's, yeah.
Yeah.
Hampton means a settlement by a bend of a river, and this one is in the south. Likewise, Portsmouth is a port on the mouth of a river. In Winchester, we see the Chester suffix for the first time.
Winchester.
This is Roman
Yeah.
and simply means town. The former part means favoured place. This might have some relation to it being a former capital of the country. Brighton and Hove is one city with two names. Brighton is seemingly named after an Old English given name, and Hove might come from Old Norse, meaning hall. Further east...
See, all of these, in this whole journey into like the UK culture, all of these different things that we've gone down, especially the educational things, it helps me live my life within context. You know what I mean? It broadens my understanding of like where I came from.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, like, no matter where, especially the way I look, like, you track my ancestry back far enough, it comes from here.
Yeah.
And so it's very enlightening. It's a good feeling of like learning something like that, and you can connect these dots back, and you're like, wow,
Absolutely.
that's a good feeling.
Woods is the city of Canterbury, famed for its tales written by Chaucer. We see that Bury suffix again here, meaning walled town, and the Canter part means the people from Kent, in relation to the county the city is found in. Southend-on-Sea might have one of the more to-the-point names. It's in the south end of Essex, and it's by the sea. And then we're...
Okay, some of these you could have excluded.
Yeah.
He's like, I couldn't get to all the names, blah, blah, blah. Well, a lot of these you could have excluded,
Like
okay?
Portsmouth.
That's
and-
ridiculous.
One of the more to-the-point names. It's in the south end of Essex, and it's by the sea. And then we arrive in London, the capital of not only England, but the entire UK. We've all heard of London, right? But despite how well known this city is, the name doesn't have the clearest origin to us. Theories range from it being named after a former Celtic lord called Londinos, to it being named after an ancient king of the land called King Lada. We have whole videos about this city and the many names found within it. Near to London is
I've
Cambridge.
heard about that the name, isn't well documented
I
where
didn't
it
know
actually
that.
came from. Yeah, I'd heard about. I don't know where I heard that from.
That's so interesting to me because it's so popular. Like, even people in the U.S., that's like if you say London, they know where that is, you know?
Yeah, that's just how old it is, man. It's
Yeah.
like they don't have it well documented.
We have whole videos about this city and the many names found within it. Near to London is Cambridge, a city famed for its university. The bridge part relates to exactly that, a bridge, and the Cam part relates to an older name for the river found running through it. Colchester was
The university, Cambridge University, like, they've done a really good job at, like, as soon as you hear that name, me anyways, it's just prestigious. Yeah,
Yeah.
very much so.
Definitely.
bridge, and the Cam part relates to an older name for the river found running through it. Colchester was the first capital of England a very long time ago. We see the Chester suffix once again, and the Col part might come from the Roman term of Colonia, a title for Roman settlements found in the wider world. On the other side of London is Oxford, too famed for its university. This name is
Another
very
one.
simple to figure out. It literally means a ford that oxen cross. Worcester is a name which has proven confusing for people outside of the UK. The name ultimately comes from an ancient tribal people, now long removed from this land. Birmingham is
We have
technically
that.
the most...
We have the beginning of that in Worcestershire Worcestershire sauce.
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Worcestershire. I
knew.
can't say it, but anyway.
Pay me a Birmingham.
Populated city in the UK, mainly because London is actually split into smaller areas. The city's name is thought to be a modern interpretation of its Old English name, meaning the homestead of Bjorma's people, with Bjorma being a landowner of the past here. Coventry's name, meanwhile, simply means Kofa's tree. Clearly, this Kofa person in the past had a favourite tree in this land. Leicester finds itself more or less in the middle of England. Its name seems to mean the Roman town of the Ligure people, making it a hybrid name of Celtic and Latin roots.
See, how did he say that? Hold up.
Have more or less in the middle of England. In the past, had a favourite tree in this land. Leicester finds itself more or less in the middle of England.
How?
Yeah.
How? I would have butchered it, man.
Leicester. That's how I read it. Like Leicester.
Leicester, yeah. Leicester.
But there's no H.
I might even be like Leicester. Leicester is
You
probably.
just made it sound so inappropriate.
I know. It looks inappropriate. And it's like, oh, Leicester. That's inappropriate too. I apologize if your name's Lester, but you know what rhymes with it. We all do.
Its name seems to mean the Roman town of the Ligure people, making it a hybrid name of Celtic and Latin roots. Norwich is the easternmost city in England, but despite this, the name means North Settlement, as it's in the northern area of the East Anglia region.
Okay.
Nottingham's name originally meant the home of snot, which isn't the most flattering name, as today snot is what we call the gunk that comes out of our noses.
Yeah.
Nottingham is the most English city name, I feel like,
Right?
that there is. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're not, because that was when I grew up. You first hear about Robin Hood and Sheriff of Nottingham, and like that's
right.
like
I don't know. It might have been our introduction
yeah,
to England as a whole.
yeah,
As in our stories and stuff as kids, so maybe that's it.
true.
That might be the very first introduction.
Isn't the most flattering name, as today snot is what we call the gunk that comes out of our noses. Back in the day, however, this was the name of a wise person who ruled over this nook of England. Lincoln might now be a name more linked to a certain president, but originally it was the name of this city, which means
Wow.
the town by the pool or lake. We then arrive at the cities of Yorkshire, a part of England with a unique identity unto itself. The entire area is named after the city of York. This is believed to mean Yew Tree Estate. Leeds is believed to mean
see, York is everywhere here. Like, we took that and just ran with it. Everything's a York. And I mean, I guess.
I even have family that last name is York, which is funny.
Wow. We even named people it.
Yeah.
We just put it on everything, huh? I'm sure that probably goes for a lot of places. Like, we ran out of last names. Where are we at right now? Boom. There you go.
after the city of York. This is believed to mean Yew Tree Estate. Leeds is believed to mean the people by the River Lat, the river that runs through the city. And Sheffield's name means the land by the River Sheaf. Kingston upon Hull is a city many people are unfamiliar with, even here in the UK, and that's because it's way more commonly known as just Hull. Seriously, I've met people who didn't know that this city was actually called this. The Kingston part means the King's Town. It was granted a royal charter in 1299. The Hull part, meanwhile, simply comes down to the fact that it's found on the banks of the River Hull. It is commonly referred to as just Hull, as there's another place called Kingston in London, which is way more known by this name. So Hull goes by that name to make it sound more unique. From England's east coast,
I would have just added the K to the end and went with Hulk. You know what I mean? I don't know if the Hulk was around when they were naming stuff, but if he would have been, I think they might have went with it. It's a good idea.
So Hull goes by that name to make it sound more unique. From England's east coast to its west, we arrive at Manchester, perhaps the country's second most known of city on the global stage, thanks to sports, music, and many other things. The Chester suffix once again means Roman town, and the man part is believed to relate to mammary glands, aka breasts. Weird, I know, but apparently there are hills in this region which reminded ancient people of them.
Okay, because that's not where I was thinking that they were going to go with man. That is super interesting.
Bunch of Manchester. Anyways, I'm interested in Liverpool.
The whole name of the freaking city means boob, basically. Manchester.
I know, but apparently there are hills in this region which reminded ancient people of them. Very close to Manchester is Liverpool, also world famous thanks to its sports and music. The name simply means the pool of muddy water, in reference to the murkiness of the River Mersey. In England's northwest coast, we have the city of Carlisle, which is thought to get its name from Celtic roots and simply means fortified town. But as we travel back over...
That's interesting. The way that they pronounce things. It's like Carlisle. Mm-hmm. It feels like one thing.
Yeah.
But the way he said it's like two things, but it still has its separation, but it's togetherness.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I like
It's
the way that
in
he
the
said
way
it
people
so
say
much,
it,
and
yeah.
I wish I could say it like that, and I don't. I need a lot of practice.
Yeah.
It's thought to get its name from Celtic roots and simply means fortified town. But as we travel back over to England's northeast, we find the city of Durham. This name comes from Old English and means the city on the hill. Sunderland's name is thought to mean separate lands, perhaps in relation to the river that separates it from England's northernmost city, Newcastle upon Tyne. This city's name is fairly self-explanatory. Once upon a time, the castle there was New, and it was built upon the banks of the river Tyne. That's a lot of cities.
Dude, that's
Yet that's only
ridiculous.
in
I just
England.
like how fancy it sounds, though, because I mean, like, you.
It sounds fancy. It's like, oh, how did you think of it? And it's like, okay. So that you just put the whole thought process into the name.
Newcastle is very familiar to me only because of a beer that my dad introduced me to. He used to love Newcastle. It's a good beer. But yeah, that's where I heard that name first. So that's awesome.
While England is the biggest of the UK's 4 nations, the 3 others have a selection of cities unto themselves. Over in Wales, we have Cardiff, the nation's capital. This is the English translation of its Welsh name, and it simply means the fort on the River Taff. Swansea, another Welsh city, has a name which has nothing to do with actual swans. It is thought to be of Scandi origins and originally meant Sven's Island, someone who ruled this neck of the woods in the past. Wrexham is a Welsh city that has risen to prominence in recent years, thanks to its football team becoming the centre of a popular TV show. The ham part once again relates to rivers, and the former part of the name may once again relate to someone of note here in the past. From Wales we move to Scotland, the northernmost nation of the UK.
I was waiting to get to this because I did not realize, it might just be this map, but the top of Scotland looks like Bart Simpson's head. Does it not?
It does.
It kind of does.
Stupid.
Past. From Wales we move to Scotland, the northernmost nation of the UK. Its capital is Edinburgh, which most likely means fort on the slope in relation to the castle found on a hill here. Fairly close is the city of Glasgow, which is a Gaelic name and simply means the Green Hollow. Further north is Dundee. We don't seem to be sure what exactly this city's name means, aside from the Dun part coming from an old word for fort. Going even more northern we find Aberdeen. This simply means the mouth of the River Don in the native Scottish Gaelic language. And Scotland / the UK's northernmost city is Inverness, which means mouth of the River Ness. In relation,
These names are all beautiful.
I
man.
love them. That's what I was about to say. Like, I love all the Oh my gosh, I would love to hear somebody in a Scottish accent say these names.
For real. That would be actually a cherry on top of this. If they each individual country, they had somebody from that country reading the names.
Yeah. I would love it.
Really cool.
In relation to the Loch Ness and its famed monster. Across the sea from the island of Britain, we have
that is a dream of mine, and it's weird because the first time I remember hearing about it was X-Files.
Yeah.
And this X-Files episode
Unsolved mystery for me, but yeah.
made me want to go there, and I've thought about it ever since then.
Yeah. Is it real, you guys? Has anybody seen it?
I don't care
or,
if it's real. I don't care if it's real. It's just the fact that so many stories have been told throughout history about it and everything like that, just being in that place and overlooking it would be special.
Yeah, it would be.
To the Loch Ness and its famed monster. Across the sea from the island of Britain we have Northern Ireland. Its capital is Belfast. The name simply means the mouth of the sandbar in Irish. This is in relation to its natural geography. And the other well-known of Northern Ireland city is Derry, which is simply thought to mean Oak Grove. The city is also known as Londonderry, but that's a whole topic unto itself. Of course there's more cities on the island of Ireland.
Wait, Londonderry, that's literally a neighborhood that my friends used to live in. That is so weird.
I know. We've got a lot of names going around because, like, a lot of them,
that's what the neighborhood was called.
Birmingham
That's awesome.
and, like, all these,
Londonderry, but that's a whole topic unto itself. Of course there's more cities on the island of Ireland, like Dublin, Cork and Galway, but they are found in the separate country of Ireland, which isn't part of the UK, so we won't be covering them in this video. However, I am going to be highlighting one city that technically isn't part of the UK, that being Douglas, the capital of the Isle of Man, a country unto itself but also dependent on the UK for various things. The Isle of Man has a special place in my heart, so I just want to highlight it here in some way. The name simply means the dark water in Gaelic and relates to the waters found by the city, and that is just a small selection of the cities found across the entire United Kingdom. What's interesting about these names is that many of them come from similar origins, deriving from people of the past or water nearby, but to many people they would just call these cities home. And if you're watching from the UK in one of these cities, let me know down below which one is home to you.
That was nice.
Name Explained
that was
depends
cool.
on viewers like yourself supporting the channel financially
Wow.
on Patreon. So a huge thank you to everyone who does. Donating just $1 a month helps the channel amazingly and gets you bonuses including ad-free videos, exclusive content, the power to request ideas to be made into actual Name Explained videos, and your name at the end of the video with all these awesome people. Visit patreon.com/Name Explain or click the link down below to find out how you too can support the channel. Thank you.
I like the end of that video, his
So-
Patreon thing. I'm going to steal that.
He
I
has
need a
an
new one.
interesting, I think it's really awesome actually, but he has an interesting way of ending his sentences where his voice goes on a little bit more, and it's like when he ends the word, it's like you or channel, like that, like, and I feel like that sticks in your head a little bit more because there's a couple other channels that we watch that, I don't know, I dig their voices because of it. It's almost like I can't tell if I don't know. It just sticks in your head a little bit.
Yeah, I like his voice. I like the presentation. That was exactly what I was hoping that it would be. And even more, actually, a little bit of explanation, not just hearing how they're pronounced from somebody. A lot of the travel videos that we've watched had like AI generated voices. So they will say a town name and we'll go with it. And that we'll think that that's correct. And
It's so
we'll release
robotic
the video
and
and read the
butchered.
comments. We're like, oh, well, shoot. And then we're reading it again. Hearing someone say it is always the best way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Properly, anyway.
Properly.
Yeah, because somebody could say it and it would sound so horrible.
Yeah. I mean, you're watching a video with an AI generated voice, or a lot of times we watch videos where an American or a foreigner from another country is going there to visit, and they're showing you around. So they don't know how to say these town names.
So the
these
top
these
one, the top
city names.
comment I just saw was somebody saying something about Londonderry, which is so funny that you go up a little bit.
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
that,
yeah.
but it was a different kind of story
Oh, okay, yeah.
than mine. But it sounds like they live in the UK as well.
Yeah, so they know.
But yeah, being an American and seeing these things and connecting them and being like, wow, like I've been friends with people from this neighborhood my whole life, and that's where the name derived from. Just kind of knowing that. It's cool. It is really cool. I enjoy connecting those dots a lot.
I do too. Because I like how we have a lot of city names that are from outside of our country, and then knowing where they are. Like I kind of already
Wish I
knew
could think
little
of a
bit,
few.
but yeah.
Be nice. Be real nice if I could think of a few right now.
Birmingham is one. Like
Birmingham,
definitely.
Alabama.
Yeah, exactly.
Where'd Alabama came from? That
Bristol.
is American, dude. That has to be. If you tell me it came from anywhere else, I'll be shocked.
Somebody
that is very
somebody got shot
southern.
and they made that sound is what I feel like.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Alabama. That's where we got it from.
Okay.
Back
We'll
in the
go
day.
with that. Someone
the
got
day.
shot and yelled it out.
And then somebody, you just like the sound of it, and they're like, "That's what we're gonna call this place. It's gonna be that." Genius. That could be a true story, so you shouldn't knock it until.
I
you
don't
know
have
for
anything
sure.
to add to that. It's a ridiculous story. That's on its own. It doesn't need anything from me.
Okay. Done,
All right,
done.
y'all. Well, that was a great video. Thanks for watching with us. And we've left links for Name Explained down below. Go check them out. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, friends.
Peace.
I'm not scared of your love.